the Daily Ramble podcast.
Hello Hammers fans, David Moyes here and you're watching Claret and Booze. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello everyone, welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick, welcome to my Daily Ramble. I've had a long day today, I woke up feeling strange today when you consider the buoyant mood that I was in yesterday. The buoyant mood. I didn't quite feel the same this morning. I made the mistake of watching a few post-match press conferences. I watched a few other match reviews as well. And I've also sort of gone back and watched a fair chunk of that game again. And it was a good game, really good. You know, my first instinct was correct. It was a very, very thoroughly enjoyable game. It was. But look, before we get on with this show, because there is going to be a but, before we get on with this show, please subscribe. We're at 11k now. Thank you very much to all the new subscribers. Drop a like on the video because it does really help us. Right. I've determined that I'm fucking useless after a game. Because my emotions run too high. It is either the end of the world or I go too far. I think I went a little bit too far yesterday. I can understand why I went too far because it's been so crap for so long that we've been conditioned to this poor football, poor football, and then we go out and we get what was not a wonderful performance, but was just an attacking performance, and it felt like I was watching Prime Brazil. You know, that's what happens when you have your expectations lowered so much. You kind of, anything else counter to what you think you're going to get, you overappreciate, and I think that's what happened yesterday. Yes, there were some fantastic performances. I stand by everything that I said in the video yesterday. I was really, really happy. I might have gone a little bit too strong on some of the ratings. I've got to be honest, because there were sections in that match where it was a little bit messy and it wasn't. It weren't right. It weren't perfect. It weren't perfect, but it was exciting. It was chaotic, as I said. It wasn't as structured as it normally is. It wasn't a David Moyes setup. The press conference that which gave me most curiosity, was the David Moyes interview where he looks really irritated directly after the game. When the guy said to him, "Did you enjoy that win? You know, playing on the front foot. You know, was that good?" And he went, "Well, look, we've had lots of wins this year. You know, and." You know, I particularly enjoyed my wins in the first part of the season, and that win was as good as some of those. Now, what that says to me is, I don't know about you, what that says to me is that his back's gone up a little bit. Has somebody else had some input on the way that they was approaching the game? Have the players rebelled as Heitinger or Stuyton or someone else come in and sort of, have they agreed together to play this way and it's paid off and it's irked him a little bit? I don't know. I've got no clue. But he did come across as very irritated, which shouldn't have been the case when you consider the guy's just lost 9 games. And that was a must-win game. He should have been fucking hop, skipping and jumping everywhere. But he was not. He was not. Now, look, scrap that for a minute, because even if that's all nonsense, I've read too much into it, and it was all David Moyes. That was David Moyes' plan from the start, you know, because the other thing he said was we went out to win that game. We set up tactically to win that game. Well, don't you usually, Dave? Well, I don't know, do you? But yeah, he did say that as well. But yeah, like I say, put that to one side. And that game and that performance, like the Arsenal Cup game, this happened months ago. That was the game before I did the shows about the low block is dead. That was another one where shackles were off. We were pressing all over the pitch, and we were brilliant. We battered Arsenal at home. And we did just batter Brentford, right? I know they scored 2 goals, but we could have had 6, 7, 8, really. You know, Souček could have had a hat-trick. If you play that way, we're going to win more than we lose, and we're going to win. And that wasn't a perfect performance, but that's the level of talent that we've got in the squad. Every single player reacted to it. They all reacted to it. Even Souček. You know, Souček looked better playing that way. That, for me, isn't reason to go, oh, look, It's brilliant. David Moyes can do that. David Moyes knows that this team can do that. I think that what the board should be doing is that they should be looking at that and going, imagine what we could do if we had a coach with an attacking philosophy with this group of players. Because he only does this when his back's against the wall. We shouldn't have to wait until David Moyes is on the verge of losing his job to let the players off the lead so they can go and save his arse again. That shouldn't be the case. And I don't think there was much tactically that went on in that game. I don't think there was, because like I said, it was chaotic. There wasn't much structure. There was some good interchanging and good passing on the left-hand side in particular, but it wasn't it wasn't a beautiful creation. There was a lot of individuals that came together to get that win over the line. You know, Bowen was brilliant. You know, great to have Paqueta back. Emerson was on fire. Kudus was fantastic. Just needed a goal. Even the likes of James Ward-Prowse and Souček steps up. I just think it was a really good performance. The players wanted it. They absolutely did want it. They were buoyed by something. They clearly want to play this way. And I'm going to say it now. That is definitive proof as to why David Moyes has to go. That alone. That's the reason. That is the reason why David Moyes has to move on. Because we're not going to see that for a sustained period. We're not going to. He does this when his back is up against a wall. I don't think he gets anything out of playing football that way. I don't think he enjoys it. I don't think he does. You know, he was just... That's the impression that you get. I mean, like I said, go and watch the post-match press conferences. He looked irritated as fuck. It's crazy, you know? So, yes, that for me... If the club have got anything about them, I'm sure Tim Stein, who is a football man, will have identified this a long time ago anyway. But I'm hoping that he can convince Sullivan and say to Sullivan, look, that is why we need to move on. We've got a group of players that are not suited to this style of football. They're not suited to it. So I'm not going to take anything away from Moyes for the win yesterday. It was very, very good. It was brilliant. Well done for that. And the players, fantastic. Pat yourselves on the back. Brilliant. Especially you, Jared Bowen. But this should have happened a lot sooner. I feel a bit cheated. I've got to be honest. I do feel a bit cheated. We've been tortured in repeat games, and some people might turn around and say, well, it's Lucas Paqueta. It's because we had Lucas Paqueta back. We can't be a one-man team. He ain't going to be here next year. No, Lucas Paqueta is not going to be here next year. And if all... we should not be a one-man team. You know, we scored one goal from open play in 2024 before yesterday. Lucas Paqueta comes back. Look at us. Not that he had that much of an influence. And look, I understand and I accept that big players can have that effect on a team. But this should not be the case. It shouldn't be the case. Yes, he's an important player and he should make us better, but we shouldn't be nothing without him. That shouldn't be the case. So, yeah, look, for me, it's definitive proof. When you watch that back, I do feel cheated. Everything that all the football fans have been saying, the West Ham fans have been saying is correct. It's proved us all right. Play on the front foot. Go at the opposition. This is an attacking team. We'll win. We're right. We're right. David Moyes is wrong. He played the way that we all want him to play. The team flourish. We win. We win in style. There's entertainment. Happy days. Jamie Carragher. A bit of a mixed bag with that kind of piece that he did on Sky Sports. Didn't like him having a go at us. With our banners, you know, he can go fuck himself, to be quite honest. We can express ourselves exactly how we want. He doesn't have to watch every minute of every game, because he then went on to explain that he can understand why West Ham fans are frustrated and also why David Moyes should move on. And that is because this style of manager is disappearing from the game. They are going extinct, growing extinct. He used Mourinho, Conte and Rafa Benitez as the elite level shithouse managers that are also being deleted from the game. They are, you know. And David Moyes he's all right, but he ain't at that level. And that's what I'm saying to you. The brand, the Premier League, you watch the football that all the other teams are playing. This is not acceptable, especially with the players that we've got. It's never going to be. And apart from that, it ain't even anything to do with the other players. It's to do with West Ham and what we want. We don't want to watch that style of football. All these other fans of other clubs who criticise us, I tell you what, if you want him that much, come and get him yourself. You watch him for a season, see how it does. So look, that is it from me. I just had to set the record straight because I did go a bit giddy yesterday. And look, don't get me wrong, I am happy. I'm over the moon. Because you know what? Like I just said to you, we've been right all along. We have. We need an attacking coach that's going to play an attacking way to get the best out of these players. And David Moyes, I'm telling you, I think he's only going to do it as a one-off every now and then. He might try it against Everton, although I doubt it. Because after the Arsenal game, when I said the low block was dead, he reverted straight back. So we'll see what happens. He might prove me wrong, but we all know that David Moyes will ultimately fall back to his old ways. It won't take him too long once he's out of trouble. So look, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll speak to you all soon. Count your heads.